I was going to ask you about this.
Oh, yeah.
I went to Clevedon Marine late this morning, and it was like a scheduled on my plan, training plan, acclimatization swim. I go in for 25 minutes or so, come out to rewarm, and then get back in for another 25 minutes, then come out.
You nutter.
I got out about 10 o'clock, drove home, and then had a bath at 1 o'clock.
Hang on, where are we? 10 o'clock? No.
Because I know
You
you're not meant to have a hot shower after you've just been in cold water, and I know that it's likely the same for baths.
Or a hot bath.
But what is the time? What's the time frame? Because I was just thinking of more, like at the time, I was just thinking practically, I need to wash my hair, got to get that done. But I didn't then, like it then occurred to me when I was in the bath, I was like, oh shit, is this too soon?
Well, how did you feel before you got in the bath?
I felt fine.
Oh, okay. Well, that's usually okay.
Oh, okay. So it's just as long as you're not still in that process of rewarming.
Yeah. So basically, if I was still sat on the sofa in multiple layers, in jumpers, in all of that stuff, still in my robe, all that sort of stuff, still feeling, even if you're just still feeling a little bit cold, don't go anywhere near hot water.
Oh, okay.
Or submerging your body, because it's different timelines for different people, because everybody's different. And it's one of those things where you know when your body's a bit warmer, or it could do with,
Yeah.
Whereas if you're still cold, that kind of internal cold that we all know, then it's like, okay, no, I can't do that yet. Like in the winter, I wouldn't be able to do what you did. Like 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock, I'd still be cold.
Yeah, because I think we're certainly at the point where it's starting to warm up a bit more now. And whilst I was chilly in between, after I came out from the second swim, I was like, yeah, I'm pretty cold now. The air temperature is much nicer. The water temperature is much nicer.
But it's still...
And then I was like, oh, I need to wash my hair. Not just because I looked really stupid in my meeting because my hair was horrific. Whereas now it's drying and... Now it's drying.
But also, like 25 minutes is not a short amount of time.
No.
And then to get out, your body is that. So basically, you're in the cold water. I mean, I'm probably telling you to suck eggs at this point. But you are in the cold water. Your body is getting colder. And then you get out of the water. And then you start, I'm assuming, what are you putting on? Are you putting full clothes on? Are you putting a robe on?
I just put my robe on.
What, over your wet costume?
Yeah.
Holy Mother of God. Okay, so then you've got out of the water, and then your body is going, well, actually, if I'm out of the water now, and then I've got this kind of warm robe around me, maybe it's time to warm up and try and start that process of warming up. Oh, but I've got this wet costume right next to my skin as well, which is still cooling me down. So my body's got a bit confused, but I'm already cold. But I'm going to sit in this cold costume, which is effectively more cold acclimatization on the side.
Yes, it's training.
So you're not 25 minutes in, get out, re-warm, and then get back in. You are getting out of the cold, sitting in a cold costume, and then getting back in the cold.
And it was 25. An old like Deacon and Blue, the double-lined one, so it had extra moisture in it.
Yeah. So basically, mate, you got cold for an hour or however long it was. Why did you have to get back in for the cold acclimatization?
Apparently you acclimatize faster if you double dip.
Yeah, but it's also mega dangerous.
Is it? Oh.
This is also just the world of cold, isn't it? Yeah. Because when people are coming from it from different angles, like from an ice swimming perspective, really dangerous. Where in terms of you're telling your body that it's cold, then you're sitting on the side getting colder, open to the elements, getting colder, and then you're already cold, and then getting back in for the same length of time, which in what is it, 10 down there? Let's have a go. Let's have a look at what it says today.
Yeah,
what was
Clevedon Marine?
I'm going to say 11.
How are we looking? Because I tend not to look at it because I'm like, it's regardless of what it says, I will be.
No, but if regardless of what it says, is it also I'm getting in for 25 minutes regardless of what it says? Because that's also like...
Yeah, that's true. It's 12.3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's a bit better than I thought it was. But that's still, like, that's a long time.
Yeah.
because it's still chilly. I mean, for reference, which you're not going to like what I'm about to say, Jim told me that it's high fives in Tynemouth up here. Yesterday it was high fives in the sea.
I mean, it's going to be really good acclimatization, and there's going to be no one better to help me than you. So, and if something goes
I mean,
wrong,
acclimatization
you're
in April, hilarious.
there. Yeah.
But it's also, we're just cold and ferocious up here. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're not. It's just listen to your body. That's the aim of the game. But of course, you're going to feel colder that second time round because your body's already cold.
Yeah.
But to go in for 25 minutes that close, like I wouldn't do that.
Would you
Like
not?
I wouldn't be. No, I wouldn't be going. Oh, I just did 25 minutes in 12 degrees. I'm going to get out, sit in my wet costume for 20 minutes, faff about on my phone, and then I'm going to get back in for 25 minutes.
Yeah. Well,
what's
I've
the- I
got
don't-
a
I
6-hour
don't
qualifier under 16 degrees for my Bristol Channel swim.
Uh-huh.
So it's more just making sure I'm ready for that, because whilst I won't be doing my qualifier just yet, it will need to be relatively soon before it gets to beautifully warm, balmy temperatures above 16.
Yeah. But it's more just the getting out in between. Like, just like stay in. Like,
Yeah.
well, not stay in. That's probably even worse. But I'm just like, that's wild. But at the same time, I'm sure people people listening to this are going to go, yeah, that's how long distance swimmers acclimatise. And I'll be like, blimmin' heck, that's bloody gnarly.
Yeah. Goodness. Well,
But I
hello,
suppose
everyone.
it's-
Welcome to Don't
yeah.
Get Your Pants Pod.
Well, that was an induction, wasn't it? Jesus, not even a hello, just straight in.
Well,
Straight in,
it
I
was
got
a
cold
genuine
this morning.
question, and I thought I didn't ask you beforehand, so I was like, well, actually, there might be people at home, listeners at home, or on the way to a swim who want to know more about it. And as you say, it is really
Yeah,
interesting
listeners.
hearing the different disciplines and the approaches everyone takes is so different.
And that's the thing, because everyone comes to it from different places. Whether it's you're coming from a wellness perspective and getting in an ice bath, whether you're doing it ice swimming, whether you're long distance, whether you're getting in for fun. It really depends on who you're listening to as well. Whether it's an outdoor coach, whether it's an ice swimmer, whether it there's so many different approaches and different people telling you to do it different ways that it's so confusing, even for us. I mean,
Yeah.
one step at a time, one stroke at a time.
Absolutely.
Neither of us are dead, so there we go.
Yeah. And ultimately, the goal of it is to just end the day not dead.
Yeah, that is it. That is living.
Literally.
Literally, that is the definition. Just not dying.
Yes. Becca, how are you doing today? Or generally?
I'm knackered. Yeah. Today I'm feeling tired. But I have been to the pool. So chlorine, I don't know what it is. Well, no, I do know what it is. It's exertion. But I'm just shattered, I think. And also this week, you'll know, this week has been a lot. Like just across the board. It's been just talking with people, talking with brands. Like it just feels like we're talking round in circles.
Yeah. Well, there was
A little
that
bit.
story that you posted yesterday, which you might need to tell the people.
Tell the people.
Tell
Tell
the
the
people.
people about. Which was
What exclusive?
I mean, at the same time, though, it's kind of it's quite a niche subject because as content creators who live our lives online and people who label themselves as creative freelancers, it's pretty common for people to reach out and go, hi, I really like your stuff. We would love for you to get involved with us. We want you to make stuff for us. We want you to write blogs for us. We want to do this X, Y, and Z. But we can give you kit. I'm not going to pay you. We don't have any financial backing, but we'd like all of your time and energy for free, please. And you will be grateful for the offer of merch or whatever it is I don't need. I've got to that level where I'm just bored of the conversation.
Yeah.
I'm bored of having to explain myself. I am bored of having to over-explain something. So it's got to that stage now where no, it's just flat no. And had one yesterday where I was trying to understand this product that they've got. And in reality, I feel like this particular company are just putting barriers in place to access the water.
Yeah.
I don't believe in that. I also don't believe that they've thought all the way through of how this will impact things, how people should experience the outdoors.
Yeah. And it's not authentic because it's not something you use. And also, as you say, it's not like, it doesn't align with your values.
No.
And I
And
think looking at your content, it would be so, because you put so much of yourself into it, it would be obvious looking at it to see that it's not for you.
And it's just one of those things of somebody reaching out and going, I would like access to something that you've created in my target market, and you're going to be grateful for it. And I'm like, no, I'm not. And I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to call you out on your bullshit, because this is bullshit, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because it's too much. I just don't. And like, I'm still going to keep it cryptic because obviously I'm like, I don't need a lawsuit. I don't need anybody telling me that this is wrong or my information is wrong. But when you are in a call with somebody and like literally having a video call to talk about a product and they don't understand the product themselves, but they're asking you to sell it, massive red flag. Like, I just don't, like, what earth, what planet are you living on that's a good idea? And for me, and like, I'm hopefully preaching to the choir. I know I am with you, Adele. But when it comes to the outdoors, there is a way to experience it that impacts it, whether we want to acknowledge it or not. Whether we are thinking about posting that location online. Do we know about whether there's a fragile ecosystem there? Do we know if there's ample parking? Do we know, like, even just having one other person there, is that going to impact the space? Is that going to have a negative impact on the local area?
Yeah.
And I think about that on a regular basis. And that's not to say that I don't do things that maybe you shouldn't do at times, because we all do it. We're all human. We all want that beautiful photo or that, you know, that beautiful experience of swimming under a waterfall, whatever it is. That's a really bad example. But it's like, we have to check ourselves. And if we're not checking ourselves every now and again, whereas when you have companies that reach out to you who feel like they don't give a shit about the environment, it shows. And it really got under my skin yesterday. Hence why I was like, well, I rang you first and I was like, Adele, I'm going to post a story about this because I'm so angry.
Yes.
Because I don't want more barriers to be, I want safety. I want everything to be accessible. And yes, I might be living in a dream world, but at the same time, I just wanted it to be made easier. And right, this isn't exclusive. I raised points about certain elements of this conversation that we were having that's still very cryptic yesterday, and saying like how there's safety concern and access concern and all of this to certain things that they wanted to do. And they came back with, people would be doing it anyway, so it wouldn't be our problem. And I was like, if you're promoting it, then you are liable. If something happens and they go, oh, well, this is where I found it, you are liable. Like, it just makes me so angry when so many people are trying to do it well, but the people that are trying to monetize it are the people that get heard. So, yeah, very angry.
Yeah, justified.
So, just excruciating when you've been fighting a long time to try and find your space, and you know that you're in the right space and you're around the right people, and for somebody to just be so clumsy with their approach, it's just like, you're wasting everybody's time here. You're wasting my time and I cannot do it.
Yeah. And I mean, we've discussed the idea of like burnout, but also like how we can do things and be a movement for good in the water before. And I just find it so out of touch. Like, I don't know if they're going to be able to have calls with anybody and talk about those things and be so irresponsible and have anyone join them. And I think it ultimately says a lot about the people who do then join them, which is really sad.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's like, I've been in this industry now for, well, how long have I been working with Alice? I've been like 6 years, maybe. I've been a lifeguard and doing bits and bobs. And I've come at it from a hobby perspective and then ended up in it professionally and know about these things. Like, I used to help organise the Scottish Winter Swimming Championships. Like, you know, I understand safety and what it takes and the implication if something goes wrong. You know, I've had to perform rescues. I've had friends who have performed CPR. Like, this isn't like us talking about something that will never happen. It's something that will happen, but it's just having the knowledge and the ability to care for it. That's what really struggles. And I think if I didn't have all of that knowledge, then maybe I would see it as a good opportunity. Maybe I'd see it as somebody, you know, and I think that's the thing that pisses me off more, because they'll be taking advantage of people that don't know any better, or want that exposure, or feel like they need it and they don't. And like, for instance, I had a DM the other day from a lady subsequently on my like work account, and they were just like, well, I'm a nobody, you know, I don't deserve to have good content. I don't deserve to be doing this. And I was just like, what are you talking about? Like,
what?
Everybody deserves to do what they want to do. Nobody forces you to have social media. Nobody forces you to do something. But you think that is some people's mindset of like, well, I'm a nobody. If somebody approaches me, then that's quite nice because it feels nice.
Yeah.
And it does feel nice. And it's up to you to figure out whether that's how much you're worth, is just merch and a tick. But
Well, even in this case, because I had a call with the same organisation only 2 hours or maybe an hour before Becca did.
yeah,
And it's not even, they don't even necessarily do merch. I don't know if I'm giving too much away by saying that. They don't give away merch. Like, no, they're not giving anything, but what they're
Not giving
providing
anything.
is essentially the outdoors.
Yeah. Just makes me really sad. Because also, with things like this, there are guidebooks out there. There are people who have researched these places, that they've looked at access points. And there's a reason that you have to pay for a book, is because somebody has gone out there and hopefully done a lot of research, looked at the access points, looked at the, like, for instance, like, I know this is going to sound like a plug, but it's not. Like, Alice Goodridge, her swimming in Scotland, every one of those swim spots in that book, she has swum in. Every one of them. Like, I was part of the Sky excursion, and we even tried out the cafes locally to even be able to put something like that in. And that's why those things exist, because you've put an expert in charge of showing what's good, what the safety points are, how's the entry, how's this going.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's my 2 pence before I blow my cover.
So you're all right?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Yeah.
But I think at the same time, I'm just like, I've had enough. I've had enough of the bullshit.
Yeah.
And I'm not calling, I'm not standing for it anymore.
Yeah.
I've got exciting stuff in the pipeline as well, which is nice. But I think when you get, it's that thing though, isn't it? It's like, people tell you that one flower doesn't make the bunch, but at the same time, you're like just looking at that one flower that's looking really droopy and really annoying. And you're like, oh, if you were better, this whole thing would be better.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, the thing that's keeping me going, like, this is going to sound like an absolute smoke up your ass, but it is next week of you coming up to the north.
Yes, I'm very excited.
And just...
For the people at home, we've started a spreadsheet of what we're going to do when we're up there.
Because you know there's going to be... I mean, we're going to be scheduling till 2028. We'll be fine.
Yeah. You won't be able to move for content of us two online.
Oh, God.
Which
Hold
might
on
be
to
a
your hats.
problem.
Yeah, I feel like it's a problem.
Goodness.
But how are you? How are you doing?
I'm all right. Training, I think, is going okay. I'm getting dangerously close to some of my swims, or like swims are on the way to swims. So at the end of next week, I'm doing a 12-hour, 1 mile on the hour swim the night event. So it's at a pool. It's at a Lido. So in the sense of cold, it might not be quite the right training, but it will be good to do some actual like swimming through the night, being tired,
Huh.
and having to push through again. So I'm doing that with Bryony, which will be very exciting. Obviously, I'm
Love.
coming up to you, so I'm excited for that. But otherwise, I feel like I've been a bit quiet, not on social media as such, because I'm still posting, but on my stories. Because when things are either really good, so I'm like, oh, I haven't got anything to talk about, I haven't got enough swim-related issues, everything's just great, I don't post. But also, when things don't feel great, I don't share on there either. Or when social media doesn't feel like quite the right place for me at that moment, I don't share on there, because I've been getting quite a lot of hate comments on posts about, and I know you've been having this too, Becca, because we've crossed notes and some of it is the same people, which
We're
is
dick
wild.
sisters. I'm still saying that.
Yeah, just hate comments about my body. And it feels wild because I'm in such a wonderful space in open water swimming, where actually there's empowerment from other women, and people will, big each other up online and support one another. And people, even if they had something negative to say, they generally don't say it. But then some of the content does reach the wrong side of it sometimes. And whilst I think I like a lot of people in sport, I don't necessarily feel body positive all the time, but certainly body neutrality, where, I feel like my body is an instrument, not an ornament. That's what I keep telling myself. And that's the thing that I'm like, well, there's lots of people who will look amazing. Bodybuilders in particular, an example, because they will look great, but they aren't the heaviest lifters, aren't the furthest runners, they're just looking great. And yet that's sort of put on a pillar of like, people should look like that, when that's not healthy or sustainable, even for bodybuilders who have to cycle on and off for that stuff. So I've been feeling a bit like, yeah, sometimes I think when I sort of get like that, I just try not to look at social media too much.
Yeah.
I might post and then not look at it quite as much as I probably should do, as somebody who creates content.
I think also we put so much effort, like not effort, that's the wrong word. We put so much of ourselves online that I think it's so healthy to go, do you know what? Like, I know, for instance, if I get into that cycle of being like, I have to post today at this time, and I have to do this and I have to do that, and it's like, no, I don't. Nothing's going to happen if I don't.
Yeah.
Like, well, why am I posting this? Is it because I have something to share? Or I am getting into a system where I feel like I have to post all the time, which is actually quite toxic, and then actually it comes back the other side. And it's just the fact that you can, I think you should take the win of all of that as well, which is, you know what? I don't have to do this, because it's really not that deep. It's literally social media, and it could be gone tomorrow.
Exactly.
So,
and for the most part, actually, for every single hate comment I got, there were so many people saying amazing things as well. Yeah. So it's trying to really focus on, a bit like that bad flower of the bunch, focus on all the beautiful flowers, not bother, like the bad flower is not going to bother me today.
Yeah, that one bad flower that told me that what was it?
It was
something
so
along
weird.
the lines. So the one that we share, everybody, if you're listening, we've got a hate commenter that we share.
Yeah.
He's really lovely and doesn't show his face online, just his pets.
Just his abs.
Just
and
his
he's
abs.
apparently somebody else who was commenting back to him on social media found out he was a PT. And so it was then negative, like was going well into it. And we were like, why is this is a man who is meant to help people, empower people with their bodies, help them move.
But maybe he's so inept at just communication that this is his way of getting clients, of just going, you're fat, you need to lose weight.
Very well, is it?
You are burdening your body with extra weight. Well, I know that, babes, but I'm just trying to live my life and show other people that they can do too. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just here to try and accept it. It might not look the way you want it to look, but can you fuck off of my page and go and tell somebody that gives a shit at this point? Oh, yeah, because they are...
Well, it's funny, isn't it? Because people, the more you engage, we've mentioned before, if you don't like seeing a certain thing on Instagram, you can tell it you're not interested. You can change your algorithm these days on your Reels bit, or you can, just not engage with it. And yet he is doing the most of engagement, because not only did this man comment once, he responded to every single person who was commenting back to him. And he was really going for it. To the point where people just
helping
gave
the
up and didn't
algorithm.
care.
Yeah.
So he's just
helping
going to
my
see so
algorithm,
much
babes.
more of it. And I just love the fact that my body, my big body, doing amazing things is going to be bothering him all the time. All the time.
Yes.
Can't wait. So glad. In fact, I might make content just for him. Doing the truffle shuffle at Clevedon Relay.
Maybe that's what we should do. Just reply to his comments with videos and just make some really niche stuff just for him.
Yeah, make a video and just...
Just probably set up a subscription service and just send him the bill.
Yeah.
Here you go, mate. Here's some more of my burdenous body for you, you bastard.
Yeah, because for me, he commented 2 seal emojis, and I just commented back saying, "Why, thank you. I take this as seals are great swimmers. I take this as a compliment." And then he was like, he then said something about like, "Yeah, that's what I meant," or something. But then people were like commenting back to him, and then he did a 180 and was then essentially like,
I love that.
there's a lot of people in the fat club. To some of the
Yeah.
people and I was like, the people who were commenting were not big people from what I could see. I was like, he's really clutching at straws.
Honestly.
But it takes up so much of my mind then, because it gives voice to some of the negativity that has been in my brain and has, that I was conditioned to have from such a young age. And you can't always just shut that off. So having time away from social media has been really good for that. And it's been really nice to be able to then, focus on the positives and just not look at it so much. And I've had, it's been some really lovely evenings where I've just put my phone, do not disturb, and just spend time with Josh. And that's been really wonderful. Yes. So it is time. Cold water, hot takes. Cold water, hot takes.
I think you're getting better at this, mate.
You know what? Next, if we do another series, or when we do another series, I'll bring spoons. I'll learn to play the spoons.
Or the cups, like the Pitch Perfect.
Oh, yeah. At the moment, it's the paintbrush. I've got a paintbrush.
That'll work.
Okay. Well, this week, we are talking about something very interesting. We're talking about something we've been talking about a lot recently, which is finding swimming costumes that fit us well.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And Becca, I feel like you shared something with me earlier, so I don't think it's too pertinent for me to say, but you shared something with me earlier about swimming costumes, and so I wanted to come in and ask you, first of all, why don't swimming costumes? Why is this a perpetual issue? Why is this always a problem?
I don't know. I feel like, well, what is it, 100 years since women swam the channel? Mm-hmm. Right?
And she swam it in a bikini, which was scandalous at the time.
Power to her.
I know.
But that's 100 years in open water. 100 years since, is it Gertrude? I can't even remember her name now.
Gertrude
That's so
Ederle.
bad of me. Yeah, 100 years since Gertrude Ederle did the channel, right? And we are still having swimwear issues. I don't get it. I think also it makes it worse because we had Deacon and Blue. And I know they weren't for everybody.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
A moment of silence. Be
I
strong.
know.
Be strong.
Be strong. But for I know loads of people didn't get on with them as well. It wasn't I think that's the thing. Everybody has different, they're people to go to, the people that work for them. But for me, that was Deacon and Blue. The first time I put one of their costumes on, I never wanted to take it off. It was just oh my God. I feel seen. I feel confident in it. And it holds me in all the right places without having a horrible sewn in bra, but at the same time it doesn't have tummy control. It wasn't explicitly going, you're fat, so you need tummy control and you need a high neckline and you also need to be in some sort of awkward print that your nan would like to wear to aqua aerobics rather than anything fun.
Exactly. And you have forgotten as well, you need a shelf for your boobs, but it does not fit you. We're going to put pads in and you're not going to be sure if they're actually just nipple covers or actually meant to be cups.
So it's just, and I think that's like with Deacon and Blue, you go, yes, they were expensive, but for a reason, because they were sustainable, because they were eco-friendly. Like everybody gave a shit. Like that business was perfection. But in this day and age, to be able to stay with all of those in mind, with all of those beliefs, they would have had to up their prices again, which is making them less accessible, less plausible as a business, all this sort of stuff. And you think, ugh! But anyway, so with swimwear, we were talking about it earlier, and so we're both trying to find suits for training because we're in the pool a lot. We're also in open water a lot. And I want to put a costume on in the pool because I refuse to take my Deacon Blue in the pool because the chlorine and the damage and all of, no. I barely wash my Deacon and Blues. They are that sacred. But when it comes to just everyday training, I need to go to a costume that isn't going to pop a boob out, or I'm going to have to make sure that the leg isn't too high cut because I've got quite a large stomach. So whenever it comes to like leg holes, you end up like seeing part of the end of my belly and then potentially just part of my lady parts. And you just think, oh my God, why in this day and age am I still having to choose between which part of me is less likely to be exposed?
Yeah.
And don't tell me it's because I've got a long body, because you can go up a size and it still be an issue. Or you could go up a size and then there's absolutely no support in the boob area, but it's still like maybe cutting up your ass and you're going to flash a cheek rather than anything else. And you think, I just get to that point with swimwear where you try on so many and then you just go, am I the problem? Is it my body? Am I being outrageous?
Yeah.
Should I change my body to be able to fit and get stuff off the rack? Especially when we've just spoken about hate comments.
Yeah.
Genuinely, people are like, if you eat less, then you'll be able to pick off the rack. You're like, not a thing.
No.
Like, I didn't ask for your opinion, first off. Second off, fuck off. And it's just annoying. And I think it's not annoying. It's also cutting access for so many people.
Yeah.
So you're people telling me to lose weight. Yeah, that's fine. But a good way and a lovely way to lose weight is to go swimming. Yeah. And if I can't access swimming in this way that it's not putting pressure on my joints from the burden of my weight, and it's not, it's something that you can do quite easily. Not having a swimwear or not having a piece of kit that you can use and rely on, that is a barrier to get into swimming or a barrier to get into the outdoors and to be able to try and find some of that fitness that you want to find. And it's boiling my piss is what it's doing. And
yeah,
because
this is one of the famously an accessible sport. You go outside, there is water, as long as, everything else being well. I mean, certainly I go to Clevedon Marine Lake a lot. It's a great place to go and swim and it's fairly safe and there's great access and you go in. But you need something that's going to fit you and that's going to, you're not going to feel like you're exposing yourself. And that guilt that you're talking about where you're like, am I the problem in this swimwear, where it's obviously not been designed for me and they've just gone, oh, well, we'll add inches for each size we go up, not thinking that women's bodies will grow in certain ways more than others when we put on weight. They don't think, oh, well, your boobs are going to keep on getting bigger. And so therefore there's less boob room. And so you might just pop a tit anyway. And with that guilt, it's so funny because I've got like a graveyard in a drawer of swimming costumes that don't fit me because I'm like, I just hope I'll get into them one day. Because so many...
I've got that.
Exactly.
I've got that graveyard.
I think, and because there's the graveyard, there's also the non-swimming swimming costumes. As in, they're nice swimming costumes as long as I don't do anything in them. As long, like if I
the sauna suits.
Sorry?
Sauna suits.
Yeah. Like if I dip and go to a sauna or a spa, I don't go to spas generally. That's the point of this. I never use them.
You don't spa, darling? You don't spa?
I never use these swimming costumes because I'm just like, I know, like And the thing is, sometimes you're buying from the same brands, but it's all different. I ordered 3 from Funkita once. One of them was just way too tight for my size. The other one worked and fit me and I could use, but it's not always the most comfortable thing ever because the straps are tight. And then there was one where I was like, if I lift my arm up, a tit goes wheel, and it's just like way. And it's gorgeous though, and I'm like, that's not a swimming costume. But have I worn it since? No.
But also, I love the fact that you've gone like this, popped a tit, and gone. No, I'm going to keep that.
Well, yeah, because that's what I do if I'm swimming, you know. Whereas if I'm saunering, it's different. It's different. Where was I going with that?
Different swimming costumes for different occasions.
Yeah, so I've got different swimming costumes for different occasions. But even then, of those graveyard ones, because there are so many brands that I keep seeing, they pop up on my page all the time, and I'm going to call them out. It's your Instant Swim. It's your, what was the one because I got, they just don't go above a size 16, and even then they might do it in European sizes, so it's actually like a 14, or, you know, you get, and I've had one of these before, and there was a gorgeous one, it was blue, and it had metallic sharks on it, and it's honestly the cutest thing ever, and I was like, I just want it, and I just want it to fit me. And I got it, and I was like, I can't wear this out of the house. But did I send it back? No. First of all, it was a present. Second of all, actually, I should have sent it back even though it was a present, but also it was just so cute. And I was just like, I hope one day I can fit into this. And it's so disappointing when that happens because, first of all, the UK average size is a UK 16. We want this sport to be accessible to everyone, not just people who are below average in the sizings. So not only does it not actually help the mass of people that exist in the world, and exist in the UK. Maybe it's just because they feel like they're appealing to a certain audience. But I don't understand why they just want to go for a thin audience when there are so many amazing swimmers who are significantly bigger than that. And that is fine. You just need to put the material on. And in my mind, it just makes sure it's supportive and not restrictive and, you know, add the inches onto the material where it's actually needed.
Yeah.
Like my back is bigger because I'm a swimmer. And yet every time I get a new big back.
Big bit.
Every time I get a new swimming costume and I'm like, oh, my back doesn't fit in it again. And I'm like, I feel bad for that. And I'm like, you know, I mean, I spoke on the pod about my wedding dress much earlier in the series. And again, it's that thing of you shouldn't train so much. Like, what?
Fuck off.
Yeah. Fuck off. I want to be able to move. I want to be able to move, but I also don't want to then feel like there's bits of me moving that should not be moving. It just feels... Yeah, I mean, bearing in mind as well, when we did our April Fools on the pod about, we're just going to give up swimming costumes, we're going nude. There were also comments on there about Deacon in Blue. So I don't think we were alone in feeling that it felt like a place where larger women were celebrated for their movement. Well, it felt like a place where your body was appreciated regardless, because they also had different sizings for what different bust you were and things like that. And, you know, because as a woman who, like, my boobs haven't proportionately necessarily grown with the rest of my body, there's never enough room for my boobs. And I don't think I've got that, I don't think they're that big for my size.
Well, that's the thing, it's like, with D&B, we will stop talking about them at some point. Maybe
R.I.P.
never, but they'll always hold a very special place in my heart as well, because like I worked with them a few times and did photo shoots with them, and then when it came to, I had a really bad experience with a brand who had talked me into wearing a bikini and then cut me out of an advert. It was very bad. But Deacon and Blue wanted to kind of do the resurrection and to put me in a bikini again and to do that, but also do it with my mum, who at the time had just had huge cancer surgery, and she was really self-conscious of the stomach scar she had. And Deacon and Blue were like, yeah, we're gonna put her in a bikini if she wants to. It really empowered my mum. She was like, you know, fuck it, I am gonna wear the bikini. Why not? Because it was really funny, because she swims at Cleves Marine Lake quite a lot. And one day she'd worn a bikini, and she was like, I don't know whether I should have, because I've got a massive scar and all this. And our friend Stephen just said, Pip, I'd rather you have that scar and be here than not have that scar and,
Not be here,
not be
consequently,
here.
yeah.
And it really put it in perspective for my mum. And then D&B did this whole thing, and my mum is, I don't know, well, she probably wouldn't want me to say on the podcast, but she's old enough to have a 35-year-old daughter, and they didn't care.
Yeah.
They don't care how old. They didn't care how old you were, how big you were, how small you were. They wanted the whole community to feel seen and heard, and that has left a gaping hole in the swimwear world. It's just like, well, what can possibly fill that? Even just a little bit. And the bare minimum is, I want swimwear that makes me feel confident, and I don't know whether that's possible anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I've also got Deacon in blue swimming costumes that I am protecting. Because I bought two during their closing down sale, because I was like, no, gotta stock up. And it lasted me for a bit, but then I've been like, I need to start testing swimming costumes. Need to make sure that there are other things that I can rely on, because as you say, like, I have swimming costumes that, like, you can see where the bits have been next to my skin. You can see where it's been fine, but as soon as you've got that access to the water, so any crevices that the water can get in with your body, so it's like I've got an outline of my body stained by chlorine inside my swimming costumes, and you can see it a little bit on the outside, so it's embarrassing. I don't need that visual on top of everything else, so I'm desperate to keep my Deacon in blue swimming costumes nice, because as a long distance swimmer as well, the arms or the straps were wide enough that then I could swim for ages, but they also wouldn't then slip down, because if I get a scoop back, anything they're falling off, they're not staying on. But I could I did my English Channel swim in a Deacon in blue red swimming costume that I still have today. Although it's now been decommissioned and it's for ice baths only. And for my long swims, I do still resurrect a Deacon in blue every now and again, just to be like, yep, this is the only thing that I'm going to be able to swim for 10 plus hours in. Like, I don't know how long this swim will take, but it's a Deacon in blue that will get me across. And I want to feel confident in a swimming costume that will get me across, channels, oceans. Get me a swimming costume that will do that. Because with every other swimming costume I've got, there's even just a small issue. Like, the straps are too thin and dig into me and cut, especially in seawater where, skin's more sensitive, or, I don't feel comfortable in it at all. I mean, can we reveal?
We can reveal.
We're launching a series. For all of you people at home who are going, yes, we need this. We need to find the new brand. We're going to be testing, and we are in the process of testing. And
yes,
we're excited for it, because it means that you're going to get very honest reviews about what these swimming costumes are like and what they can do, and potentially what they cannot do, like keep things in place in some cases.
But also, it's like, I'm sure there was groans when you said that, of like, oh, you're reviewing swimwear. I know, we're not being gifted swimwear and then standing on the side of a body of water. We have decided that we wanted to put this idea together. We've teamed up with Everybody Outdoors to really get out there to the community. They are a plus size community that have been rallying outdoor brands, outdoor clothing for the past however many years now to increase their sizing. They are the reason that Rab increased their sizing from like a size 16 or whatever it is, and now to a size 22.
Amazing.
So they have been doing incredible work, and we've teamed up with them to put these swimwear through their paces. We're not just going to be putting it on at home. We're also trying it out, taking it to training, seeing how it works in chlorine, in open water, and trying to put that all together into a 1 minute 30 reel, but also probably putting it more long form. Because there's just so much that we want to do, because both me and Adele, I mean, I'm speaking for you now, but both me and Adele found that we'd buy swimming costumes, try them on at home, they'd be fine, then take them to the pool and then be like, well, I can't wear that again.
Yeah.
And it was just a huge waste of money, and I don't want to be doing that. So, yeah, we just thought, you know what, let's do something about it. And let's try and find the holy grail of swimwear again, or just highlight how hard it is to find swimwear, because I don't think enough people are shouting about it.
Yeah. Oh, for
So,
sure.
yeah,
Oh, for sure.
mic drop.
I mean, because you do see a lot of like gifted swimming costumes online, but it's so difficult to see the wheat from the chaff almost. It's like what is actually good, because there's been some swimming costumes we've tried on from brands that we've seen a lot on social media, and consequently we've not rated them. It's not been good. Obviously there are some good for sure.
Yeah.
So far it's not been fantastic.
Well, yeah. It's one of those we yeah. And the thing is, at the same time, if anybody thinks that there is a swimwear brand that we may not know about, that you have contact with or anything like that, please send them our way, because we are open to everyone and anything. We are looking to test as many as possible because we want to see what works, but we are not accepting scootbacks unless they claim that they can get through training sessions. These are things that we want to look good in. Well, we want to look confident in. That's the main thing. We want to feel held in our training, but not feel uncomfortable.
Yeah. I feel like so many of these swimming costumes aren't designed for swimmers. And maybe that's just me as an outdoor swimmer thinking that, because obviously, you know, if you've got your black scoop back, yeah, you might like it for doing a couple of lengths at the swimming pool. But I mean, even when I'm outdoors, I need something bright. I need to be visible to my crew. And so often it'll be like a great swimming costume, but it's only available in black. And I'm like, I can't, that's not safe actually for me to wear.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Well, you know, I think we kind of already know what's going to have to happen at the end of it when we can't find one.
Adele and Becca swimming costume collab.
Oh,
God. Well, I mean, a true exclusive for the pod, because it was, I didn't even know that.
But you never know. We might. I mean, we're not even. We're into our second one. Yeah, I suppose we're kind of into our second one now. Because as you can tell, this is not a short process. This has been in the works for months, and it's just time to start shouting about it. Onwards. Absolutely. And I think that's the thing. I think the battle cry of all of this is, swimwear may be made for you if you are a size 8, if you are a size 10, if you have an up and down swimmer's body. But you put some tits and some ass on top of that, then like it's insane.
Yeah.
It's not just that it goes out and wide, it goes, there's so many things I could say about it, and my brain's getting angry again. So I'm going to stop.
Peace and loveliness. It's time for the changing room council. Am I going to have to bring the wig and the gavel? I don't know if I'll get this through security, because I'm not checking in a bag. It is a weapon. It's not a very good one.
I don't think you need it, mate. You need all the space you can get for swimmies.
Yes, for swimmies. So we have a dilemma in. It says, hi. Hello, reader. Reader? Again, listener? I don't know. Hi. I 29F, again, very Reddit. I love it. I'm an open water swimmer and have done a few long distance swims over the past couple of years. Nothing extreme, but enough to know how quickly things can go wrong if you're not properly prepared. One of my friends, F, recently signed up for a really big swim that's happening this year. Think along the lines of a marathon swim or channel type distance. The issue is, I don't think she's ready. She's a decent swimmer and she's enthusiastic, but her training has been inconsistent at best. She skips longer sessions, avoids cold water when she can, and tends to brush off advice from more experienced swimmers. She's very much in the it'll be fine on the day mindset. A few of us have gently tried to give advice or suggest building things up more gradually, but she either laughs it off or says we're overthinking it. I'm genuinely worried, not in a dramatic way, but enough to feel like this isn't just her having a bad race. This is something where being underprepared could actually be dangerous. At the same time, I don't want to crush her confidence or come across as jealous or patronising. It's a huge goal for her, sorry, and she's really excited about it. Part of me thinks it's not my place. She's an adult and can make her own decisions, but another part of me feels like I'd be a bad friend if I said nothing and something went wrong. So, do I say something properly and risk upsetting her, or do I stay out of it and hope for the best?
Can I go first?
Yeah, go. You look like you have words, Becca. Go on.
I don't want to answer something with a question, but I think it comes down to what your relationship's like. Well, to be honest, if you're this concerned, you've probably answered it yourself, because it sounds as if it's weighing a lot on your mind. Because my knee-jerk reaction would be, it's somebody else's swim, stay out of it. If they want to do it, fine. But I've been in situations where friends and maybe partners have gone with the fuck it and find out scenario, and it's really hard and it's really stressful. As long as it's nowhere near their attempt, I think there is definitely a space where you can sit down and almost have a sort of intervention, as it were, to be like, we all love you, we all respect you, but we just want to make sure that you know all the things that we're worried about. And that's okay if you can address that. You don't have to answer to us. We're not here to judge you in any way, and try and create it coming from a space of love, that it's like, we're just worried about you and just want to make sure that you understand X, Y, Z. Which, to be honest, if she's taking on a long distance challenge, I'm sure she does in some way, but there's probably also that kind of financial pressure of, if this is a channel crossing, say, it's a lot of money to turn down, and that's the mindset of, oh God. She could just be embarrassed that actually I do have to do this because I don't have an option B. What's the option B? And maybe it's just helping her get through that, because there's also that element of community that she may not think that she can rely on for you guys to, because you sound like your long distance or channel crossing, you sound like you've got a wealth of experience behind you to notice the safety issues. So is it something to go, we love you, but also we want to see you succeed, so maybe we help you do those longer swims that you are avoiding? Maybe it's kind of bringing that to the table too. I think there's a lot around that support to be said. And honestly, a lot of people would say, just let her do it. But I've experienced that worry. I don't think Michael will worry about me saying it, but when he did the Bristol Channel last year, I was terrified. Not because he hadn't done the training, but because I was just terrified that he was going to sink, and this irrational fear of, what happens if he stops breathing? Or what happens if he just disappears and I don't see him again? What happens if... And I was really catastrophizing it in my head, not for any good reason, but just that's open water swimming and anything can happen. And I almost got to that stage where I was just like, I just have to tell him. But because it was becoming such a big thing for me that I knew it would leak out of me nearer the time, and that would in no way be fair to a swimmer to unload anxiety on them before a big swim that was them doing it, not me. So I'd expressed all of that to Michael, and Michael kind of hadn't really appreciated that side of it, but he was great about it. We just talked about it a bit more, and I was able to, we were talking to the boat captain about it, and there was just no way that was going to happen in the way I was thinking it. But I think there is a space where addressing your concerns and airing them out is good for everybody involved, as long as there is a big enough gap between now and the challenge itself.
Yeah. I mean, it's like what you were saying about your mum, that one of your mum's friends had said to her, I would rather you have the scar and be here than not have the scar and consequently not be here. I would rather have a friend who's annoyed with me but here than have a friend who is not here
Yeah.
but was blissfully ignorant the whole time. And one thing I wrote down here, because there's a couple of things with this. They mentioned, the person wrote in and mentioned that they're a decent swimmer, but you can be a decent swimmer and not a marathon, an ultra marathon plus distance swimmer. It's very different. And I think people forget sometimes that open water swimming can be an extreme sport, brought on by the fact that it can be incredibly cold and it can be incredibly long distance. So there's different ways in which it can push those levels of extremes and get into grey areas where it's like, this isn't good. People still die sometimes in attempts of the English Channel. There is swimming-induced pulmonary edema. There is, sometimes people just have heart attacks and you don't know what's going to happen in that moment, but you need to do everything you can to make sure your body is prepared, whether that, and your mind too, whether that's, night training. I hate night swimming, but I train it anyway because I know that I need to be able to do it. So I train it. And that's this, cold water acclimatization. I know I need to do it because I need to acclimatize to the cold and be able to swim long distances in it. So I do it. And it's really interesting because I don't know many, I think maybe just all the swimmers I know are quite young to the swimming and the long distance swimming. So usually they're all, I'm worried I'm not training enough. I'm worried I'm not getting in the cold enough. Oh, I've only got 3 months. What's happening? Even though they've been training excellently the last few months. So even people who are prepared worry. So I am a bit concerned that they themselves are not worrying. But as a worrier, I think that might just be that I am also surrounded by worriers. My fellow worriers, come here. I mean, because when I was swimming across the English Channel, there were times when training sometimes didn't feel quite right. And it's a fine art to be able to know when to push your body because things aren't feeling right. You're not feeling comfortable, but you have to push through that to be able to train for the thing you're doing. But there's also times where you do need to stop training because it could be dangerous. And it is a fine art that it does not mean you don't do every training session, that you don't train, that you're not going out and pushing yourself in those conditions. I mean, just before, maybe 2 or so weeks before I swam across the English Channel, I did a Bournemouth swim camp. So I was doing lots of sea swimming. And there was a swim where I was like, actually, I don't think I need this right now. I actually think I'm just pushing my body for the sake of pushing my body. I could actually do with some extra recovery, if anything, because I'd not long done a weekend where I'd swam the distance of the English Channel just to make sure I could and give myself that reassurance. I'd already done my qualifier. And I was like, actually, I don't feel like this is helping me anymore. And so I came out and my coach was there and she was like, yeah, that makes sense. Yep. Okay. Go rest. Go do stretching, go do the things you need to do to be able to recover for your body. Which for me is I've got a Theragun ball that vibrates and I sort of, like a bear that scratches its back on a tree. That's how I look against a wall trying to get out all the knots and things. And so there are moments when that happens and you do need to listen to your body when that happens, but that does not mean just not training. And when you do have these, as you say, there is the financial pressure. Because I know for most of my swims, if I don't do them, I'm not going to try them again because they're just so expensive. They're like thousands of pounds. So I would ultimately say something. Risk upsetting her. That's because that's what you've got to do. Mm-hmm. As a friend, you care about them. As you were saying, Becca, you want to see them do well, but you also want to see them alive. And that's ultimately, I always say to myself, and I say it to other people in fairness, when I do a swim, I don't care so much about timing. I don't care so much about, it's something I want to achieve in it. I just want to walk out at the end of it alive. And anything else is a cherry on top. But doing it, enjoying it for the most part. There's a guarantee for the swims I do, you won't always enjoy it, but enjoying it for the most part and just getting out alive is the key priority. And, making sure your friend knows that you want to see them come out alive is important too.
Hear, hear.
Hear, hear. That is it. That is the Changing Room Council. Send in your dilemmas if you have any. We have
yes, please.
1 space for next week.
Uno, oh, I don't know. Words failed me there. Uno space aurori. I don't know why.
And now, it is time for the watery abyss. Shed your sins, and all shall be forgiven. So this is meant to be the part of the pod where you send us your confessions. Confessions?
Confessions. That's quite good.
Your confessions to commit to the watery abyss and free yourself of judgment and any watery guilt.
I mean, it went slightly American
I know.
as it went on, but I mean, crush the confessions.
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 We love confessions.
We love confessions.
But we actually have no confessions. The
confession is there are none.
Yeah, the abyss is barren. It's
And
running dry.
I think, honestly, following Ash last week, I don't know whether... Yeah. I mean...
Normal, pee in the pool. Do it and tell us. That's all we're asking. That's all we're asking. You don't have to cremate your mother and throw her into somebody else's fire to do it. Will you take anything here at the watery abyss?
Oh, God. That's just, yeah. We're all out of confessions. We've abyssed too hard. That is...
No one even peed in the pool.
No one peed in the pool this week?
Not for us, at least.
I'm trying to think whether there's any confessions that I could tell that... Well, I mean, then it wouldn't be anonymous at all, but...
No. I mean, I did pee in the pool recently, but maliciously. Inspired.
Really?
Inspired by people on the pod. Probably because, again, I'm named here. No, I did say it was on my stories, I put that, because there was a lady. I was swimming, we'd split the lane. I'd split the lane with another lady, and otherwise there were bits of the pool that were a bit emptier for people to go and swim, because when I swim outside at the pool I swim at, there are no lane speeds, just lanes. It's a bit of a free-for-all. But we'd split the lane, and this lady joined us, unbeknownst to me. And she came in, but just started swimming head on into me. So we collided. And my first response, because I've been told, because my parents are quite cynical, so as soon as you have a car crash, any shock that you get into, you don't admit fault, and you don't, like, all I said was, because she immediately apologised on her part, but I just went, okay, and tried to get to the end, because in my mind it's always been make sure you're safe and not in the way of anyone else. And so I was just like, get to the side because I'm in shock. I was, I'd been scratched. I was like, make sure I'm all right, get to the side. And because my response wasn't immediately, oh, it's all right, love, it's fine, you just swam straight into me, knowing, like, she had all the knowledge there. She was standing there looking at the lane and saw me swimming and went, I'm gonna go now. So with that knowledge in mind, she then went, and in my mind, I was like, well, you are guilty, and I'm glad you've apologised. But then she started to have a go at me, because I was like, I just went, okay, and tried to get to the side to get to my stuff so I could have a sip of a drink and just calm myself. She started to be like, I apologised, and I was like, I'm just trying to finish my set. What are you doing? Why are you swimming into people? And she consequently, the other lady then got out because that I had split the lane with. She was like, oh, it's all right, I'll go over there to the bit where there is space. And so went over there because she was also a bit slower. But this lady started then swimming and very much wanted to swim in a circle. And it's fine, I'm happy to be flexible. But it was the fact that she just went and consequently didn't want to say anything else to me. So you can... Because I started with saying I maliciously peed. I did maliciously pee. At one point I was sat there at the side because I was doing a speed set and was consequently faster than her as well. I had to time everything so I could go off just before she got to the wall, and had to sort of do all of this just to make sure that, I wasn't going to be, because I didn't want to interact with this woman. But at one point before she came to the side, I peed and she stopped and I was like, you're marinating. I love it. And then I got out not long after that, perfectly successful in my speed session, still, I did have a scratch actually that lingered, but I'm a bit nervous though because this happened on Friday. I'm worried she'll be in again on this Friday, where I'm doing a 10k swim in the pool. So I am slightly nervous, but I'll just pee again. I'll do it. I did it and I'll do it again. That's my story. That's my confession. And you know what? I think people would think I am slightly justified.
I think you're justified. She sounds like a massive twat.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Every time she pushed off the wall and I was sort of sat at the wall, she kicked extra hard to splash. But so much so that, because I was just like, it's water. What do you think you're doing, love? Like, oh, no, not water. But so much so that other people were looking at it and being like, that's a bit weird, and saying it to me because I'm a regular there. And I was like, yeah.
But that's the thing, though. I mean, she can go to the abyss for all I care.
Oh, she can go well into the abyss.
I mean, it's just the fact that she apologised, but then because you didn't do the British thing of, oh, no, I'm sorry. It's like, don't get defensive about it.
I'm not going to apologise. It's basically like if that was out of water, if that was out of a swimming pool, it would be assault. So I'm not going to apologise.
But that's what I mean. Like, if you're going to apologise, don't say it just because you're being British. Yeah. Say it with your chest and then don't get defensive. Like, come on now.
And later on, there were other lanes that freed up and she didn't move, despite the fact that, you know, I was there first, I was faster. She didn't then think, oh, sorry, I'll go off. Because I feel like if you were really sorry, you'd then be like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm going to move to a different lane.
Well, it's like, for instance, today I had somebody tumble turn on me in the pool. I think it was.
That sounds like a Magic Mike in water experience. Goodness. Like,
but
was it like a sexy, like, yeah, not that you can do a sexy tumble turn.
Because I was in the corner waiting because I was only doing 50s. And then she tumble turned and I must have been in the way somehow. But then I was like, and then I think she pushed off me instead of the wall. But I don't even know. I can't remember how it happened. But literally within that happening, I was like, that was weird.
Did she stop?
Anyway. Huh? She continued. And then
No. She can go to the abyss because I hate this. Touch somebody in the pool or someone touches me, I stop where I am and I'm looking around and I'm like, what's going on here? Because it's not normal.
But she was doing 100 by 100s.
I don't care. You're in a communal space. Just because, like, I've had this before in the pool where other people have been inconsiderate to other people and I've heard about it, but the excuse has been, well, I'm training. And you are still in a public space. You still have to be considerate of other people. There is no excuse to tumble, turn and push off other people. There's no excuse to swim into people. If I'm doing a really tough set, I will still give somebody the time of day to be like, oh, sorry, do you want to split lane or swim around in circles? It is never too much. I find that, honestly, this is why I would love the idea of, like, you know, the jacuzzi, but with like the push, that like the endless, so you just swim into the jets. That thing.
Oh,
you'll know I've won the lottery. You will know I've hit big when suddenly all of my
I won't tell anybody
that.
There will be signs. But the thing was, when we literally, I swam and did my second 50, and then at the end she was like, I am so sorry, I think I pushed off you. I was like, oh, it's fine.
It's like, surely it's obvious. I mean, don't get me wrong, people do make mistakes, and I'm glad that they apologised, but at the same time, you don't just, oh, was that a solid wall or a person?
No, but at the same time, I'm a pretty solid being. She probably did it. I mean, she might not have
that
realised.
means you're hench, though, because you just went, I think somebody just tumble turned off me.
I think somebody, I mean, you know.
Was it my left bicep or my right? I can't tell.
One's up. I'm trying to think what else, because I don't know whether I've got any personal confessions. Oh no, I do, but it's not swim related.
Oh, go on.
Because so this happened, when did this happen? I reckon this happened like 3 weeks ago. And I was at a supermarket and I'd just put all of my stuff in the car, and then a gust of wind took my shopping trolley across a car parking space and then gently slid onto a car. And I was like, my God, I saw it and I was like, oh no. Because obviously it was empty, didn't have anything in it. Thank God.
Yes.
But basically had just rested on the tyre. It was fine, but there was somebody in the car. Da da da. But it was a teenager who did not give a
Oh,
monkey's.
wow.
And I was like, "Hiya, you all right? I've just touched the car, but it's completely fine." And it was completely fine.
Yeah.
But then I was just stewing that I hadn't waited for the actual driver, and that teenager was just going to go, "Parent, somebody hit the car with a shopping trolley. Go and check the supermarket cameras."
Yeah. It's that fear of being misunderstood, isn't it? Because you obviously tried to, but you also can't just wait there forever to just, yeah. When then, you'd be waiting there to say, nothing happened.
Yes, exactly.
But then it doesn't sound like nothing happened. If you're
If
there
you wait
to
all
say,
that
"I'm
time to say,
innocent."
honestly, like it just slid across, and then it was just that instant, like, oh my God, what's going to happen? Are they going to say that I've like dented their car, but I haven't dented their car?
Yeah.
And then, so I'd like to send that to the abyss because that's been on my brain for like 3
Yeah,
weeks.
let's free you of that guilt because you don't need that at all.
Yeah. So, excuse me. But when you're just like, I have notified somebody within the vehicle and
Yeah.
they didn't care.
Bearing in mind, I live in Bristol, and honestly, the drivers here. I don't know if I'll include this in the pod, so you're lucky if it is. But honestly, I think the drivers could get in the bin for the most part here. It's like everyone wants to be so close to your backside. They want to see what you ate for dinner, but they're also encouraging you to speed up to the next traffic light, which will inevitably be red. You are all trying to speed to the next traffic light, which is red, and you will have to stop.
I really like that though, when somebody like really up your backside and then overtakes you, and then there's a red light, and I'm like, karma.
You just
That's
caught
what
up
that
to
is.
them. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And that's everywhere in Bristol because there's loads of traffic lights and there's lots of people who want to get to where they would need to be faster than you can get them there. So I've been in lines of traffic where I will give extra space because I know there's people, like I'm in a residential area, people are walking out of places, people are opening their car doors or on the street. I've lived here long enough to know that this shit happens and someone's up my arse as if like I'm the problem when, there's just traffic. It happens. Just relax. Be nice to others.
We get in the north, traffic doesn't exist as much as it does down south.
My
It's
family
brilliant.
live around Crewe, and I don't know if it's just that the general age of the population there is a bit older, but I'd never experienced. It's only in Bristol that I've experienced driving like
Bristol's
this.
real bad. I mean, this is where the podcast is going. We're now talking about traffic. Like, goodness me, what is happening?
Yeah, people were like, yeah, maybe it's a good thing next episode's the last one.
So basically, guys, if you're not going to give us your confessions in Abyss, we will talk about traffic. Just so you know.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, people are going to be sinning just to give us confessions so we do not have to talk about traffic anymore. Mm-hmm. Good. Sin, be free.
Sin, be free. Commit to the Abyss.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like, therefore, there's a key ask there for everyone at home. Sin for us and tell us about it. Otherwise, like us, rate us 5 stars and follow us on everything you've got. TikTok, YouTube, Instagram.
But yes, next week, in person. Our first in-person pod.
Yes.
At Casa de Havre.
Yeah.
My word.
Yes. Also send us any questions. Anything you'd like us to answer. Anything that's been lingering on your mind over the last 9 episodes, including this one. And we will try to answer them. We'll give it a go.
We'll give it a go. We'll see how it goes. But just a reminder, don't forget your pants, and we shall see you next week.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.